Do you feel like you're not getting access to the opportunities you would like in life that you so badly want? Welcome back to the Yardie Yogi Perspective, a space for healing, self-discovery, and growth. I'm Yardie, your host. Rejection as redirection. It hurts. I'm not gonna lie. It absolutely hurts to be rejected or to feel like you're being rejected. But I'm here to implore you that it's probably working out for your highest good, even if you're not able to see that right now. That definitely might not feel good to hear right now. But it's a perspective. Perhaps you can keep it somewhere tucked away in somewhere while you embody the feeling of being rejected, while you allow yourself to feel that. It's not about letting it go away quickly, trying to not feel like we're not hurt or disappointed. Sometimes the doors that we want to be opened so badly for us that never do are just signs that it's time for you to reroute, to pivot. I believe we're all having a human experience for the first time at the same time. Anyway, so none of us have it all figured out. We've all experienced rejection. We've all experienced feeling like we've failed. And that's okay. I want to share a few words here. Don't let the world dilute you. You are magnificent and worthy just the way you are. No need for accolades or applause as proof of validation. I'm not here to convince you. I just want to implore you. You have what it takes to discover who you really are. What makes you, you. Don't let the world dilute you. Take up space. Learn to be patient, to evaluate the lessons falling on your plate due to these so-called mistakes. There's always something to be taken away from any experience. Don't dwell, don't let them get to your head. Be gentle with yourself. Pour into yourself some curiosity, some self-love, and a toops of courage until you can do more. I believe in you. Seeing rejection as redirection, it hurts in the moment, but we do not need to attach ourselves to the outcome. Perhaps finding the lesson and then moving on. So that will be the essence of this episode. Rejection hurts in the moment. Allow yourself to feel it with your entire body. Allow yourself to feel it. Do not rush it. Don't feel like, alright, I need to hurry up and get over this. Perhaps we don't need to dwell in it for too long. So giving yourself a boundary then. Alright, depending on how big the disappointment was, or it doesn't matter. Give yourself a reasonable amount of time. Alright, Yardie. I went to the University of the West Indies. I got a master's degree. Before that, I got a bachelor's degree. And then I went into the work world for 5 months. For 5 months, I got a job with this private syrup distribution company, and it wasn't even in my field. I just had a degree and I needed a degree, and I was there. I didn't last more than 5 months because the moment I went there and I saw the people that have been there for 10 years, for 15 years, for 21 years, and I'm like, huh? No, So I'm like, all right. The only thing I knew what to do was to go get another degree. I get a higher degree in hopes that it will do better for me. And so I left and I went back to school to do that. And I was in a better place getting my master's than I was getting my undergraduate. Both of them were not easy. I could barely afford them. But while I was doing my master's, I had managed to have a little car, I had a little place for myself, and it was alright. It was alright. I did get, what was it? Like, I was a research assistant or something, so they paid like 70% of the tuition, and then I had to find the rest, which was doable. I made it. But when I finished my master's degree, it took a lot to get that degree done. It was hard work. And when I finished, this was 2020, I had already started to apply for jobs. By then, we started to hear word of COVID being a thing. I heard nothing, absolute zilch. And at first, I I blamed myself because I was like, well, maybe if you had done better in building a network of people so you knew people who could get you an opportunity, you wouldn't be here. But no, I didn't really have that. And I did the hard work. I thought my hard work should stand for itself, right? No. So, in seeing that there wasn't gonna be any opportunities for me there, I had started mentally to consider perhaps leaving and moving to the States. I didn't want to do that. I knew what life in the US could be. I knew how much of a risk it would be, how much of a challenge it would be, and how much courage it would require of me. I didn't really want to do that, but I'm used to having to do things not because I want to do them, but because I have to do them. Yeah, we are motivated and we're driven because we want better out of life, and comfort zone isn't really comfortable. If that makes sense. Like, I love Jamaica, I love being home. It's my home, of course, but it wasn't entirely comfortable, if I'm being honest with myself. And so I knew I had to do what I had to do. I told myself that when I came to the States, however long it took me to eventually get to a place where I can have the privilege of using my degree to gain employment, I would be good. Oh, I would be great. But obviously, so much is different. It's a whole new other country and so many other people. It's just a lot more to think about. And so, long story short, I worked hard for a master's degree, and 5 years later, up until now, that degree has not opened any doors in the field of study that is international relations. Because I wouldn't want to say it hasn't opened any doors, because the opportunities that I've had here, although not directly related to that degree, if I didn't have the degree, I don't think I would have gotten them. So, yeah. But it still hurts, because the dream, the intention behind doing the study, it has not worked out at all in the way that I hoped or I would try to imagine back then. So it's important to feel how you feel, and it took me a very long time. I'm still working through it. I'm not completely over it. I'm still kind of bitter and resentful, but I'm releasing it. It's a work in progress. Yeah, we're healing, we're releasing, being authentic and honest about it. But it was never personal. And for someone who is very open-minded and able to see things from many different perspectives, I realized that since my degree didn't open any fields in the political government fields, I know, or it brought me some amount of awareness that, listen, this wasn't supposed to be your path anyway. Like, it doesn't really align with my core values and who I am on the inside. And so it's interesting because the first job that I got here in the US was relating to health care relating to getting Jamaican farm workers access to healthcare. That blows my mind now that I'm pulling the dots together, because I am very passionate about healing, one, and wanting my people to be their healthiest self holistically. So it's not been completely out of alignment, but if not being rejected, and not being rejected from being perhaps the diplomat that I thought I was gonna be, working in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs or something that never happened, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be on this self-discovery, healing, holistic healing journey that I'm on, that I absolutely love. And I know that it is in alignment with mind, body, and spirit, all of who I am. And yeah, so I would say focus on your heart. Sit, be still, be honest with who you are, what fills you up, what do you care the most about, what drives you, what motivates you. Once you tune into that, you will never truly be lost. While you're still discovering your path, you will never be completely out of alignment when you listen to your heart. So give yourself permission to reroute, to refocus. Never lose that priority to yourself, to what is truly valuable to you. So a lot of the times, the things that we think we want the most, the things that we need the most, that will make us feel the most successful, it's probably not what we truly want or even need. Are we even being honest with ourselves about what that truly feels like? Or are we just holding on to societal standards or what's out there as like secure ways, proven ways of success? We see this, and this is acknowledged as a way of success. So being the free spirit that I am, fear of the unknown has been very hard for me. I accept it a lot easier than others because I consider myself a very spiritual person. I understand that I don't have as much control as I would think I do. None of us do. We really don't have as much control as we would like to convince ourselves that we do. The only thing we really do have control over is ourselves. Yeah? So tuning back into you will always lead you to where you ought to be. No confusion there. So the second point would be to detach yourself from the outcome. Trust the process. Easier said than done. But I believe that as human beings, there's nothing we can really do unless we are just really committed to just fucking up our lives. There's nothing we can do that will completely separate us from the path that we're meant to be on. I just know that rejection is sometimes protection. Especially because a lot of the times, the things that we're going after is not really what we want. A lot of us don't know who we are on the inside. We really have no clue. And so you're here working, striving, fighting, trying to climb up this ladder. Perhaps even managing to get to the top. You're completely depleted. And then you end up frustrated and unfulfilled. Because you get there and you can't see anything. You know you're at the top, but you can't see anything because what? It was not your peak to arrive at. You climbed somebody else's peak. You climbed somebody else's mountain. It was never yours. And so I think it's vital to make sure that you're in alignment spiritually before you physically be putting in all this effort and all this work. And so, while it was hard for me to accept that, I worked so hard for this master's degree. I was told from I was young that getting an education was my only way out. And it didn't really work out. It did not manifest in that way at all. I was depressed about it for quite some time. I was bitter and angry. Because it took work, and I wanted that work to be proof. I wanted proof. I wanted to be compensated. I wanted to be recognized for the hard work that I put into this. But that never happened because that was more from an ego standpoint. Yes, I'm capable. What it has taught me is that yes, I am capable of hard work. I am capable of discipline. I am capable of toiling to create something. I am capable of doing that. The lesson that I learned from it, quite literally starting to feel physical pain in my body, is that if I'm working too hard towards something that is not meant for me, it is detrimental to me. Hence, not worth it. It not worth it. I don't care how much money it might come with. I don't care how much status it might come with. I don't care how much network it might come with. If it is not in alignment with who I am, then I would have failed. So, when thinking about rejection as redirection, I think it's important to get clear on what success really means to you, what wealth means to you, what these outcomes really mean to you if you were to receive them. Because when we're so busy trying to reach these achievements and these outcomes that are somewhat generic and across the board, then you as a unique being, when you get that generic title, that stamp of approval, and you receive it and it feels empty, it feels like, well, I worked so hard for it and it doesn't fulfill me. What is happening? You're out of alignment, boo. You've completely missed the point. You have missed the point of this life. So yes, trust the process. Trust that a lot of the times when you've gotten the no's, when you've gotten the distrust, that rejection is just protection. Protection of your purpose. Protection of what you are truly here to do. So alignment is key, and it is the real win. It is the real flex. So don't be so caught up on thinking that I'm not getting access to opportunities, I'm not going to be successful. Be more focused and be more clear on who and where and what you truly want, what you truly desire, what feels right within you, what feels right with your spirit. Because alignment is the true flex. Success when you're in alignment, or success in alignment with your true, most authentic and fulfilled self, doing your soul work, your sacred work, fulfilling that purpose, that mission, that is the true flex. Sure, getting a degree is nice and all. It looks good. I feel accomplished to some extent. I worked hard. It proves that I'm smart, you know? I got brains and I'm pretty too. But if I were to keep on that path of needing to prove, needing to push, because I thought about it. For a while, I had to entertain and truly go deep within myself to find some clarity, because I'm like, well, I have a master's degree. I don't want to feel like it has gone to waste. That was the biggest thing for me. I don't want to feel like the time and the effort, the blood and the sweat and the tears, the sufferation, the struggle. I don't want to feel like any of it has been for no reason. It's not. It helped me to build character. And sometimes I have to remind myself of this, because it's easy to forget when we've had some success. It's easy to forget when we've overcome some hurdles sometimes. So it's a good reminder that yes, I worked hard towards the thing and it never really manifested how I thought it would. But that doesn't mean I failed. It's given me things that I can embrace to help me, right? It's built my endurance, my resilience. So that leads to the third point that I want you to take away. So yes, first, rejection hurts, but detach yourself from the outcome. Trust the process. It's not personal. Find the lesson. This is the piece of rejection that is personal, that you should take personal. Find the lesson in it, because there's always something to learn. No matter from who, no matter from what, no matter where, there's always something to learn. As long as we're living beings, we will always be learning. So yes, I might have worked hard towards a master's degree. I could also work hard to get a higher degree than that to reach the peak, and that would be a PhD. I entertained that idea because I'm like, I don't want any of it to go to waste. So my ego was standing tall. I'm like, yes, I'm bright, I'm brilliant. I need to prove that I've arrived at this peak, and that would be going and striving for this PhD. I don't really want this PhD. Sure, it would be nice to be like doctor. Oh, sure, it would be nice. It would make me feel good. It would boost my ego, but only for a moment. Because would I be doing work that's truly fulfilling to my soul? I doubt it. I really doubt it. I think I would be miserable. I would be miserable. And so the more I look at it, I know that the path that I'm on now, the uncertainties that I have to push through, the courage that I have to dig up within myself and cultivate, it is necessary right now, because it doesn't matter if it had happened in 2020 or 2025 or 2035, it would have happened at some point along the journey. Because as long as you are not in alignment with what you're meant to be doing, you're gonna always be facing rejection in some way, shape, or form. And even when you're in alignment and doing the work that's right for you, you will be facing rejection, but it'll feel different. That's what I'm telling myself. It will feel different. I truly believe it will feel different. It will feel less of an attack on, I don't know how to put it. It will feel different. So find the lessons. Instead of asking, why me? Why is this happening to me? Like, I worked so hard for my degree and I cannot get a job, and Lord knows I deserve it. Like, I'm coming from this rural place. I didn't have lunch money to go to school. Like, I've had to go through so much to earn this thing, and it's still not working out for me. Like, why me? Like, I know I deserve better than this. I did that for a while, but I could not allow myself to stay stuck there, because it wasn't serving me. It's not getting me to where I actually need to be. So the ability to open up your mind then to be like, all right, instead of asking why this is happening to me, What is this doing for me? What is this trying to teach me? And the lesson that I got, yes, education can be a good way for you to gain success, to gain upward socioeconomic mobility, but it is not the only way, and it won't be what works for you, especially if you know within yourself that you have a higher calling, a higher purpose. You have something that's sitting on your heart that you know would be truly amazing if you were living out that in its fullest expression. If you were living life in the fullest expression of your most authentic self. We only have one life, and our time is limited and unpredictable. So why not risk it? Why not be unpredictable with you? Because if everything else is unpredictable, you're working so hard to gain status in a particular company or a particular job. It's unpredictable because they can tell you no. We can send out 250 job applications and they can tell us no. That is very much unpredictable. So if we're having to face that and deal with that anyway, why not be unpredictable and take risk with yourself, with your heart's desires? But be reasonable about it. Be reasonable about it. So I want to share some affirmations with you in my tea time. Sit up straight, lengthening your spine, rolling your shoulder blades down your back. Inhale, breathe in deeply, filling up the belly. Exhale with a sigh. I release attachment to outcomes and embrace divine timing. I trust that what is meant for me will never miss me. I will always be on the right path as long as I follow my heart. The no today is making room for the yes that is aligned with my highest good. So on today's episode, we talk about feeling, allowing yourself, your body to process the pain of rejection. And it's not just rejection in terms of like a job or something, but when people reject us too, that can be really, really hard. That can be hard. Allow ourselves to feel it. Know that it is not an attack on your worth. Do not take it as an invitation, as an attack on your self-worth. Please don't do that. I know it's hard. But allow yourself to feel it, as messy as it may be. Allow yourself to feel it and give yourself a timeline of when you're going to start working on releasing it. So feeling it is very important because we don't want to suppress this feeling of rejection. It's not going to be helpful in getting us to where we need to be. Once we're feeling that rejection and we're allowing ourselves to release it, be patient with yourself, be gentle with yourself. Trust the process. Know that I know right now, I know right now might just mean that. It's no right now. But it doesn't mean that you won't get that yes, perhaps in the same place tomorrow or in the same space next week. It doesn't have to mean a complete, all right, I got no towards earning this degree, so that doesn't mean I need this degree at all. You probably still want to do that degree. It's your thing. You just need to try again in another way, another time, another shape. Just be open and knowing that. Stop trying to have control. Like this idea that we have control it's kind of flawed because we really don't. We really don't. So the control that you have is just to be open to accepting and then surrendering. Everything will work out the way that it's supposed to. You're doing your part by putting in the work. The outcome will come. And then understand that there's always something to learn. There's always a lesson in there. So friends, thank you for being here with me. You don't know, we finding our flow. So until next time, stay rested and stay resilient.